Good evening, Mama Four Boys. How's it going? KP Heathen, greetings, my friend from Louisiana. Utah Mike. Well, KP, were you anywhere near the French Quarter last night? I guess you heard about the terrorist attack. Some nut drove a vehicle through a large crowd of people, killed 10, injured 30, and then got in a gunfight with the police officers that were responding. They shot and killed him. That happened at the French Quarter last night. Hey, Black Widow, how's it going? Happy New Year, everybody. $30 minutes away. Yeah, it was very sad. 15 dead, 35 injured. Okay. Yeah, I had heard that there might be another person involved. They showed an image of a black guy with a beard, and I guess that's the one that they shot and killed that got into a shootout with them. Anne Marie, welcome, Anne Marie. Everybody, please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. If you have not already done so, please hit the bell icon so you receive notifications, which I'm pretty sure those of you who are here right now probably have. It was a rented vehicle. Yeah, that's the MO that they pull over in Europe. Like they've had some incidents in Europe and France and UK and Germany and places where they rent a large moving van, or they rent like a truck, and then they tend to like go after people on a bridge, or they go after them where it's easy to get to them and they can't really get away. They run into a large mass of people. That's happened before a number of times, and it's always these jihadi terrorist types. Yep, yep. Really, 4 people on video, 3 men and 1 woman planting bombs. Horrible. Hope they got them. I used to be part of the parade association down in Corpus Christi, Buccaneer Days. We put on 2 parades. We put on a Saturday morning. The last Saturday in April is the children's parade, which is done in the morning, Saturday morning. And then the following Saturday, which is the first Saturday in May, they had the illuminated night parade, and that's the one for the high school kids and the older people and the adults that participate. And very successful. Never had any incidents like that. And we had some drunken stuff, but never had any incidents of any seriousness. Thank God. And over, oh shoot, that's probably been going on for 80 years. So 4 in the house, 5 likes. I'm at 17.99, getting ready to hit 1800 again. For those of you that didn't know, I was at 1831, and then I guess I was the subject of a YouTube purge. The algorithm or the AI or whatever dropped a lot of my channels, or dropped me down. I'll drop down to 17.95. and now I'm back at $17.99. I'll hit 1800 with my next um, subscriber. Does not feel good going the wrong direction. So I just got through watching Mike Crusher Reviews latest. He did a 500 subscriber giveaway. Congratulations, Jeremy. I forget the last name. And he showed what was in the box. He did a review of a cold weather, and very, very good. Watched the whole thing, left some nice comments, hit the like button, and punched the bell, punched the little icon, left a timestamp that I watched the whole thing. And a good man. Yeah, there's a lot of concern about, the inauguration coming up. Will there be something done to disrupt the inauguration? They talk about that. Will there be another assassination attempt? A lot of people worried. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Went out today. The missus went out. I gave her a couple of rolls of quarters. She went and she got some purified water for a bunch of gallon jugs that we had went through. We saved the jugs and reuse them. And went and bought 12, 24 packs of drinking water over at Walmart. Aldi was closed today. Sam's was closed today. A lot of places closed for New Year's. Uncle Al. Hey, I like that pantry video. I noticed a lot of number 10 cans on the top shelf. That's where I tend to store my stuff. All the freeze-dried stuff goes at the top. Yeah, Happy New Year. I mentioned the incident last night in New Orleans in the French Quarter. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Terrorist. And they've had a lot of that happen in Europe. The UK, the European Union, they like to use vehicles, these jihadi types, terrorists. They'll take a vehicle and then they'll run it into a crowd. They had something like that happen up in a parade. Where was that parade? They were having a parade up north someplace. Was it in Minnesota or someplace? Where somebody run a vehicle into a bunch of people at a parade. That was a year or so ago, if I recall correctly. Yeah, a bunch of college students. Bunch of college students. I hate little fleas and such. Little Lone Prepper. Hello, Little Lone Prepper. You got to worry about stuff like that when you have pets. Wisconsin, yeah. Pre-retirement days. Well, I have continued to upload shorts, and I've got some more from the wedding. The wedding ones don't seem to be doing that well. I mean, I know y'all are watching them, but the algorithm, it doesn't seem to be the general population, pushing out to the general population, doesn't seem to be taken by many of them. And I mean, there's some beautiful scenery, beautiful stuff. Put up some beautiful, really peaceful music with it, and I just don't understand. But I guess that's just the way things go sometimes. That you say, well, change it up and put this out and put that out, and you do, and you don't get very many views. The box for Little Lone Prepper, the short, 30 some odd views, I think. The video, last time I checked, 30 some odd views. And usually the videos don't get as many views as the shorts, but I'm very disappointed in the way the shorts have been going. And then you put something out that's not really, and it gets a big chunk of views. I don't know. How are you doing, Melinda Elliott? Everybody's greeting everybody. Yeah, I can imagine. I hear you, Uncle Al. I hear you. 6, 7 in the house, and 9 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. Six watching and 10 likes. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. So, I've had people asking me questions about MREs, about shelf stable. How long does it last? Some components will last forever. Some components, like nuts, some components, certain oils in them, they go bad in short order. They barely last their inspection date. But then a lot of times it's, well, what temperature was it stored at? What sort of conditions was it stored under? Was it out sitting in a pallet in a hot warehouse, 100 degrees temperature for a couple of years? The specialty rations like the halal and the kosher, they tend to have a lot more side components, and the way that they store them, the little packaging that they store them in, is not really for long-term shelf stable. The way that the very thin packaging that they put them in, the stuff does not last very long. So you get one that's basically at its inspection date or just past its inspection date, and a lot of the components probably won't be eatable. Things might pick up now that the holiday rush is over. People tend to watch more videos during the winter months when they can't be outside as much. Well, that may be the case. I hope that's so. People tend to support those who support them. So when I had more time and I had more people that I was actively viewing their videos and supporting them, they were actively viewing my videos and supporting me. The number of those people is down. now. I mean, I try to support the people, and I'm sorry, Uncle Al, I had a little bit of a nail I wanted to deal with. Um, I try to support those who support me, but a lot of times I don't have the time, or the time that I used to have. So I don't get to do as much. I mean, I'll do stuff on off times and a little bit here, a little bit there. This is like, comments. You'll have somebody who will leave comments on 2 or 3 of your shorts, or a video and a couple of shorts, and they view it all together. They knock it out all at once, and then I leave a comment on one of their 3 or 4 video comments. I'll comment back on one of them, and then maybe I just hit the heart, the little button on the other 3, and it's like, well, I had a minute. I looked to see where I was at, and oh, okay, let me comment, leave a comment, and I do that, and then I hit a couple of the hearts, and then I have to go back and I'm doing something else. So it's not done intentionally. My finger looks like it's feeling better. Well, yeah, my finger's just fine. I had you need to go to the doctor, and they're going to need to do something other and give you a shot and all, or you're going to lose your finger and you're going to lose your arm. Please. I live with the drama queen. Semi-hibernation mode for the next couple of months. Yeah. I sleep a lot. I rest a lot. And I doze off sometimes. But as you get older, you don't need as much sleep, but you need more rest. That's something I've been told since I was a boy. Don't point your finger at me. LOL. Prepper Book Club. It's like, oh, I'm going to shoot. Oh, the algorithm's going to get me. I threatened somebody. Prepper Book Club, how are you doing? Please leave a like to support the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. Appreciate you coming in this evening. Take pictures of college students at anti-American rally. Well, I hear a lot about the liberal professors, and I went to Texas A&M Corpus, and you would learn the bent of the professor. And if you wanted to make an A in that class, you learn what positions to take. And you kept your mouth shut about positions that the professor did not like. And you would support what they supported, or pay lip service to it. Even back then, yes, I could tell you stories. Back in the days, before the internet, So, as I was saying earlier on, the wife went to go refill jugs, went and refilled a bunch of gallon jugs of water, and went and bought 12 cases of the bottles, 24 packs, 12 of those. I'm going to buy some more tomorrow. We're refilling, reloading in case something were to happen. Trying to make sure that things get taken care of. It is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Yeah. Smart dust. I need to investigate this because it wasn't on my apocalypse bingo card. Well, you never know. That was an excellent book, Uncle Al. Yeah. So, um, I've been watching The Useful Suspects, and they're talking, they're talking points. They're talking about stuff, and I'm hearing stuff about, well, why is Donald Trump on Panama's butt about the canal? Well, 75% of the traffic that goes through the Panama Canal is U.S. based. The next largest um, contingent of shipping is China. And apparently, China has, or a company affiliated with China, has acquired a port on the Pacific side and a port on the Atlantic side. There's like 5 ports, and they required one on each side near the mouth of the canal. And supposedly there are a bunch of Chinese people in Panama. Large number of Chinese people in Panama. And the concern is, if there were to be some sort of conflict with China, like if China decided they wanted to take back Taiwan and they saw that we were going to be involved, well, disrupting the flow at the Panama Canal is one of the things they'd want to do. And then they talk about other things that the Chinese have been doing, land purchases near bases, drones, large numbers of military age Chinese men being in the country. So your paranoid conspiracy types, or people who are bright, and some people in the government or the incoming administration that are bright, might be thinking, well, if I was going to fight a war and I was going to fight a superior foe, well, what could I do to slow them down? So, just fantasy reading material. Think about some of the stuff. And they said, well, and if there was a nuke that went off and did an EMP and disrupted a chunk of the power grid, it'd take months to put it back up and running. In the meantime, you've got, I don't know how many people are without power. And what would that do to order? And what would that do to, you know? So those are things that they're floating. I'm from Corpus Christi. I grew up in Corpus Christi, Colal. I know about Corpus Christi. Yeah, Mexico. Mexico is and will continue to be a pain in the butt. And they remember a lot of their former lands are now in our hands. They'd like a return of that. And, they're swamping us across the border. Yeah, and you had blockage. You had, I think it was in the Suez Canal, you had a ship block traffic for a week or 10 days. And that caused a big disruption. A lot of backup. A lot of shipping was backed up, stuck. Yeah. Yep. You're right. You're right. And I'm reading about the North Koreans taking a lot of casualties. Those troops they sent over into Ukraine, they're taking a lot of casualties. And the Ukrainians are taking some North Korean prisoners. So, lots of interesting stuff happening. And don't think that, Donald Trump comes in and everything's going to be hunky-dory peaceful. There's still going to be a lot of crap going on. And you're still going to have the Democrats in Congress raising hell and trying to block whatever the president's doing. Oh, they're raising hell right now because they think that Sotomayor's health, they had wanted her to retire so that Biden would be able to choose a replacement. And Samuel Alito, who's very conservative, they're saying with his health, he may in the next year or two, this year or next year, retire. In which case, Trump gets his fourth pick and might get his fifth pick. Oh, and they will, if you think they're upset because it's a 6-3 balance, it's actually a 5-4 balance because the Chief Justice votes with the Democrats a lot. He votes with the liberals a lot. He's done some stupid stuff for him, supposedly having been appointed by a Republican. It's actually a staunch 5-4 court, and he votes with the Republicans sometimes. But he'll vote against them. But now that, there's 6 of them, and he's the sore thumb, he really can't prevent the other 5 from passing stuff. So he's not that big of an issue. Wished it had been like that when all the stuff about Obamacare came up. But anyway, can you imagine how it would be if the conservative court got an extra seat where it was only 2 liberals? Oh, the Democrats will be they're just losing their minds. They're losing their minds right now, but they'd really be losing their minds. 7 watching and 12 likes. Yeah, cannon fodder. That's true. The other thing is, apparently they're having some technology transfers. So what are the Koreans getting? Apparently, they're getting some technology on building this frigate that they're building with a vertical launch, being able to have vertical launch canisters, the way that other more advanced navies have these. They can basically install vertical launch systems under the decks that they can carry different types of missiles. Dissent matters when you get seats if the Republican justices constantly don't vote well. Well, that's true, and there have been some things that they haven't really done that well on. That's true. For as much of the country, population-wise and county-wise, for the vote to have been the way it was, for them to be as close as they are in the House, it's just perplexing to me. It is so perplexing that the Democrats are so close in the House. And then the other thing is, some of the senators, you've got some rhinos. You got some rhino senators, and they don't give a damn. They'll muck up whatever they muck up. The one in Alaska, Murkowski, she's the one up in Maine, Susan Collins, is it? There's 3 or 4 of them that really, you talk about primarying them, they really need to be primaried. And then Alaska's election system's so jacked up, it's not funny the way that they do things. Murkowski's like a lifer. I think her father was a senator. I think she got her father's seat. And they changed some laws and they did some voodoo to make it possible for her, the way that they do the voting and the way that they calculate what they do and everything, that it basically really, there's just a lot of crap going on. Yeah, lots of foreign money. Lots of foreign money. And then the geriatrics that you have there, that mentally, like Biden, there's some people in Congress that are like that. McConnell, just has a brain freeze, doesn't know where he's at. Got that lights are on, nobody's home. It's happened multiple times. He'll be talking, and then all of a sudden he just, people are looking at him, do we need to call an ambulance? What's going on? Hello, anybody home? It's like Weekend at Bernie's. It's like God Almighty. And then the crap that they do, and some of these people are no friends of the president. He's got a mandate. Well, then don't get in the way. Don't interfere. Let the voters' will be done. I will say this: Romney came around. Romney bent the knee. He's going out, thank God, but Romney bent the knee. Oh yes, Trump is the party. MAGA's the Republican Party now. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully a lot of good stuff's going to happen. I look forward to Doge coming in. Ramaswamy and Musk, I'm looking for them, what they're going to do. Look for a lot of positive stuff to happen. Caleb Boo. Hello, Caleb Boo. Happy New Year. How are you doing, Caleb Boo? 6 in the house, 11 likes. Please hit the like button to support the channel. Well, I understand they've been purging that there was a bunch of generals that are purged. You know, the Soviets, Stalin, he purged his best officers. They're saying that they're purging people who don't agree with the idea of invading Taiwan. That Xi Jinping, or whatever his damn name is, wants to invade Taiwan, and he's going to do it, hell or high water. And he's getting rid of anybody who's opposed to it or who would be opposed to it. You get some of these. I watch a lot of this stuff about technology, and you'll get these videos where they talk about, oh, well, Russia's got a carrier, China's got all these advanced carriers. Well, let's see. The carrier that Russia has, it can't really operate under its own power. It has to be towed. It can't carry the fighters that they have. If they want to launch one, it can't take off with the full tanks of fuel. It has to have limited fuel tanks. The first one the Chinese got was one that was like an old Ukrainian, been built in Ukraine, an old Soviet one that had been partially dismantled. So they bought it, and then they spent 20 years trying to reassemble the thing to get it, and it's like a training carrier. And then they've got another one that's basically the same as the first one, and they're basically training carriers that you would not want to take those into combat. And then they've got an experimental one that's actually a decent carrier. It's conventional powered, but it's actually a decent carrier. And it's the first one they have. And they're basically learning with that one. So they've got one carrier that would theoretically be able to go into combat. And they're talking, and I know they're building up their fleet, and they're building a lot of smaller size ships and such. And that tonnage wise, we have more tonnage than they do, but they have more ships, because they're doing a lot of this lightweight corvette, light frigate stuff that really could not go out into the blue water. It's like along the coast, and they're basically building a navy to try to retake Taiwan. That's what they would want to do, is try to retake Taiwan. And they talk about, well, first thing they do is they try to sink a couple of our carriers. The missiles and such, they try to, or that their submarines would try to hunt down and try to take out a couple of the carriers, that would be supporting the Taiwan. But they've got Japan upset with them, South Korea, the Philippines. Right now, from what I understand, Vietnam's not happy with them. India's not happy with them. They're on the verge of conflict with India. Just about everybody around them's not happy with them. They do have the support of Russia. But as you can see, Russia's tied up in Ukraine. I mean, that they can't do much more than what they're doing in Ukraine right now. They're doing everything they can in Ukraine. Do you think they can take on anybody else with anything else? And their navy is a joke. Their best ships are tied up, or they can't really get home. They're talking about they're going to take them to Libya. They're going to take the fleet to Libya, but they really don't have facilities in Libya to maintain them. So they'd have to build facilities to try to maintain them. They don't have the range to get home. They don't have the range to get home. So, and they're basically fleeing out of Syria. A lot of casualties, a lot of stuff they're having to leave behind. A lot of they're basically just running from the rebels, trying to get out of the country. Yeah, Vietnam is mad at China. Yep, yeah, that's true. No, one of them actually they built one. That third carrier that they have is actually, from what I from what I've been seeing, it's not at the level of our stuff, but it's a it's a long ways towards what they need. Uh, has a catapult system. The like the British, the Russians, those two Chinese training carriers that they have, they've got like a ski ramp. So they basically go to take off and they go up this ramp and they launch that way, and they can't really launch with a full load of fuel. Their planes they can't take off with a full load of fuel. So they're and it's like, okay, what do you think's going to happen when somebody decides to go after them? They send a wing after them or something other, or fire missiles up on them. Do you think their version of a phalanx is going to stop three or four of our missiles coming in? Don't think so. And they really don't have the. It's like our carriers have a whole flotilla around them of destroyers and cruisers, submarines. They usually have one or two submarines. We're still number one as far as the submariners, and they'd have to deal with that. It will be interesting. I don't wish it, but it'd be interesting to see what happens. You know, they're talking about, oh, they might launch a few nukes. Supposedly they have threatened 9 of our cities. Heaven forbid that happens, but if it happened, the Democrats would never be able to get anybody elected, because it's the big blue cities that would be the targets. In that sense, it's like almost like they'd be doing the country a favor if it wasn't for all the destruction that it would cause. If it just get rid of the population, they'd be doing us a favor. It'll be interesting what happens. But there are people who are thinking that if they're going to do something, they're going to do it before Trump takes office. So the next 3 weeks, inauguration's on the 20th. The other thing is, could you imagine if something happened to Washington D.C. on inauguration day with all the politicians there? It would be hard to get the president out if they did something. That'd be a good time to do it if they were going to do something other crazy. You know, it's like designated survivor, and then naturally, whoever the designated survivor would be a rhino. It'd be somebody that just weak need. Hey, Mike, that was a real good video. I just got through watching it. Watched the whole thing. If you look at the timestamp, I watched the whole thing. Congratulations to Jeremy. And I'm sorry about those corn nuts. It's like some components don't last. Some things with the oils and such, they don't last. Excellent review. It was a real nice box. Congratulations. I think you're at 515. Congratulations. You're my guy. Yeah. I don't doubt it. It's like I was saying, like some of those halal and those kosher meals, the way that they package some of the sides, real cheap packaging, they barely last till their inspection date. I mean, when they're fresh, those are really outstanding. They're outstanding when they're fresh. But when they're past the inspection date, a lot of the components just start. It's like the FRHs. The FRHs are just. Christmas Eve, he supposedly signed 50 bills. They had a bunch of easy legislation for him to sign. He's also been pardoning everybody. We're waiting for him to pardon himself. They're questioning whether some of this stuff is legal. Like, he pardons them for everything from 2014 or whatever. Just crazy. It's like when he was vice president, you pardoned him for, also just bless you, my son. Oh, Lord. Yes, Happy New Year. Uncle Al, I really like that pantry short that you did. I ought to do a short of my pantries. It's like I got all those number 10 cans up top, too. And then I've got lots of pails and such. Ugh. People talk about, well, do you have food? And how long you got food for? A couple of years, for a small group of people. Got my wife even talking about it. Yeah, it's horrible. He left 3 people. He commuted to life imprisonment. A bunch of people. He left 3, I think, a couple of those church killers, those church, went into those churches, left them on death row, left 3 people on death row, 3 on death row. Well, that's nice, Uncle L's secretary. That's good. When we remodeled our kitchen, I built our cabinets, and I basically did floor to ceiling, 4 feet wide with these accordion type doors, like you'd find in the closet, and did all the everything was 3/4 inch, smooth sanded 3/4 inch, and lots of storage, lots of storage. And everything's full. Everything's full. And I'm basically using closets now. My entry closet, that one over there's full to the brim. I got the stuff stacked out here out in front of it. Well, you know, a lot of the stuff he does is that he's being told to do it. He's got people that are, you know, it's like Trump will have advisors, and he'll have people working for him, and they research stuff and they make recommendations. So they put all that stuff together, and you know, and somebody whispers in his ear, and you know, he does what he's told. I mean, when you saw him talking about New Year's, Happy New Year's, it was had his wife there, and she was basically prompting him. You know, he was saying stuff. You know, oh, you know, I like pasta, and I like, oh, and you love ice cream, Joe. You love ice cream. His wife's there. You know, oh, I love ice cream. Yeah, it's like God, God Almighty, and you know, that's our president, and he's not gonna leave until they basically wheel him out. But if he leaves, guess who you get? Harris gets to say she was president. First woman president of black descent. President for a week or 2 weeks. You know. Yeah, Harris has got to certify the election as vice president. She has to certify the election, saying she might not certify the election. Hey, my friend Dave, Happy New Year. Welcome. My friend Yoda, please leave a like to support the channel. You are growing like a weed, my friend. You're growing like a weed. I'm getting ready to hit 1800 again. Second time around. I was at 1831, and then I guess the algorithm, you know, like we talk about the purge is real. The purge was real to me, and I got down to 1795. It just knocked the crap out of me, and now I'm back at 1799. You know, so next subscriber will be 1800. I'm not doing another 1800 subscriber giveaway though, but well, you know, they talk about him showering with his daughter. Not mentioning names. So I don't know. You can probably guess who we're referencing. You know, I'm not going to mention the name, but you can guess who we're referencing. In North Coast Railroad. Happy New Year. Yep. And my agent sent me a list from the top of my head. Okie doke. Gotta go buy some stuff. Yep, let's go, Brandon. You know, it's like he says, let's go, Brandon. It's like you've got Biden saying, let's go, Brandon. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you always thought, well, there's never going to be a president worse than Carter. Yes, there has been a couple of them, you know. I don't know what you think about Obama, but I think Obama is worse than Carter, and Biden certainly is worse than both of them, if it's possible. if it's possible. I don't know. I'm having a good time. Did I say Happy New Year? Happy New Year, folks. So Little Long Prepper should be getting her box Friday or Saturday. They said supposed to be 4 days. I mailed it Monday. Look for it on Saturday. Expect it Saturday, so expect your box on Saturday. And I did a video of it, so you know what's coming. I heard from Echo. She has been contacting me periodically, leave comments on videos and such. It's living my best life at 60. My friend Dave has been kicking Boutte. He's up past 4,000 now. He's like twice, he kept running 200 behind me. We were growing together. I'd stay about 200 ahead of him. And then it was about 200 ahead of me. And then all of a sudden he just, SpaceX took off. And now he's at over 4,000 subscribers. 4,000. So profs and best wishes, and thank God. I saw where SpaceX is looking to completely leave California. Now they've got a launch site there that they launch stuff for the military, which they'll keep that because they do certain polar and certain, it's advantageous for them to launch from there for certain military type launches and such. So they'll keep that. But they're leaving their facilities and such. I hear San Francisco is going to be losing an additional 14,000, $150,000 a year jobs. People making 150,000, 14,000 people leaving. That's got to hurt. California's been losing so many different high-paid, companies that have large staffs, large groups of employees making really good money, and they're moving out. They're moving to Texas. They're moving to Florida. They're moving to Tennessee. They're moving out, and that's taking a lot of their tax base. New York, Chicago, Illinois, New Jersey. They're losing a lot of wealthy, high-paid. The tax base is really taking a hit. And do they do anything to stop it? Nope. They don't. Buying space. How are you doing? Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. Take care, Uncle Al. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you. I don't doubt it, Dave. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Take care, Black Widow. Appreciate you. Happy New Year. So, when I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day. I drink my coffee, take my medication, say the Lord's Prayer, contemplate what's going to happen, what I need to do, make my list, I check it twice. I try to live the way I try to live the way I should. And I am remorseful when I fall short. Right now, my kid is sick. She just got married, just got back from her week-long cruise, honeymoon cruise. She's sick, missing work, not good. I feel for her and her new husband, my son-in-law. And I don't know. I worry about the next generation, what's going to happen, how things are going. Good night. Yep, good night. So I will plan on being back tomorrow, 7 p.m. for another edition of Coffee Talk. I appreciate y'all being here. If you have not left a like, please leave a like to support the channel. And please make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications. I am going to be working towards my 1,900 subscriber giveaway. When I hit 1,900, I'm at 1,799 right now. I got 101 to go. I went the wrong direction. I don't know why, but I took a little bit of a purge. And hopefully that's done. So everybody, please have a blessed day. Happy New Year. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye-bye. Thank you.